So I went down a rabbit hole about Alexis Ware, who mysteriously disappeared without a trace. Now, here's the kicker. A lot of people are saying she dabbled in witchcraft. That is why she disappeared. Now, here's the thing. We're not going to jump into conclusions because this could very well be a homicide case. Nobody knows where she is and they don't have a suspect. However, we're going to bring awareness to this case because we want to keep the conversation going about her whereabouts, and we're hoping that the family find answers soon. But we're also going to talk about the educational aspect of spirituality and dabbling in witchcraft or any other form of the occult or whatever. Now, it's been alleged, I didn't hear it from her mouth, but from third, fourth party based off, her partner and whatever else everybody else is saying, that she had wished death upon 5 exes and all 5 of them had a horrible demise. Let's just say she was responsible spiritually, witchcraftly, if she was responsible for those folks. Let's just say hypothetically, when it comes to spirituality, and it was proven that she actually admitted that she does hoodoo, she does hex work and positive work. I saw the recorded cam, so I'm not going to say allegedly on that because she did admit it. However, if she was doing negative work and she was not in the right and it caused other people to be harmed, baby, there's going to be a price to pay, especially if you're petitioning the spirits to do something to cause an ending to somebody's life. 5 lives. Some of the prices that you can pay for that is 1, with your own life, and 2, your livelihood. Yes, when you do a bunch of baneful, negative work and all that kind of stuff, you can go crazy. You can experience paranoia. You can go into psychosis. There's a thin line between spirituality and psychosis. Very, very, very thin line. Now, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, she probably did some stuff and that stuff came back to her. Then it would explain how her behavior, based off what people were saying, how she would say, I won't live past the age of this. I'm not going to make it. Somebody's following me. All those, like a dooms type of experience and events. When people experience paranoia, they all of a sudden they become prophetic, like super prophetic, and they're just calling everybody, you got to be careful, you got to do this, like bringing on, projecting their fears, their fear, their insecurities, and all that kind of stuff that they're going through internally. They project that. That's what happens when you lose your head through spiritual psychosis. And you start telling people, oh, you're going to die. Something's going to happen to you. You need to pray. You need to do this. You need to do that. Oh, this is going to be it. Oh, it's your fault. Or yeah, some people start to do that because it's a cry out for help, kind of, sort of. And they are projecting what's going on internally within them. So let's just say she was going through a spiritual situation. As for educational purposes, that's how it would manifest. Somebody losing their mind, somebody dabbling in multiple different types of spirituality, trying to find some kind of solution to quiet their mind or something to focus on. So that's when she was in hoodoo, then jumped into astrology, then jumped into this and calling people up with all this fear mongering and all this kind of stuff. That is a form of your head messed up if you start doing stuff you ain't got no business doing. And let's just say, since she was doing negative and positive work, a lot of people don't know how to petition spirits properly and how to pay. Because when you petition spirits to do things, there's always a price to pay. A lot of people don't know how to pay the price, don't know how to pay the piper. And guess what? Yeah, when it's time for them to collect, the spirits to collect, guess what? You don't know what you're doing. Then things start to happen depending on what kind of spirits that you're working with. Now, if this person was dabbling in other types of spirituality, petitioning demons and doing this, all this kind of stuff, maybe you don't put yourself in some. But another thing is, if you are doing a bunch of spiritual work and all this kind of stuff and you have no protection, especially if you're doing negative spiritual work on people and you don't have protection, that will always backfire on you. I don't care who you are. If you ain't got no protection, baby, and you think you finna hex somebody, baby, that you done open yourself up to spiritual attacks. But for educational purposes, let's just say that, whatever that happened, and, but it still does not explain, the phone calls and some of the events that happened. I didn't really tap into that energy, but I'm just speaking based off the documentary, the news station, what they were saying. There were some things that made me think, it could be this or it could be that. But I truly hope that the family do find the answers that they need. And for educational purposes, if you are somebody who's tapping in, dabbling, and asking these spirits to do these things and you ain't paying the piper, just be mindful and think about Lipstick Mystic, the girl who went crazy and was doing hexes and all that kind of stuff, and she lost it. And unfortunately, lives were lost, people were injured, and it was just real crazy. Y'all be careful out there. If you don't know what you're doing, stop reading these books. Stop putting yourself at risk for spiritual harm.